Hey, this is John Siskovich with FoodCyclist Farm, and I wanted to show you the effect that my chickens have out on pasture. I'm standing at the wood line where they started right now, and you can kind of see a little white dot right down there. They've been traveling for some time. That line through the field there is where I've cut the grass along the way, and they started about in this area. And if we look down at the ground, you can see no chickens have been here. The grass is a little bit more sparse. This pasture needs some rejuvenating. It just needs more nutrients. It needs, it needs to be plowed and reseeded and fertilized. And my chickens are slowly tilling up the soil and fertilizing it. And the difference between right here and then where the chickens were is amazing. No chickens, chickens. And that fertilizer, that poo that they're putting down right there, and then I moved the tractor and it's right there, and right there, and right there. You can see there's green stripes down the field where the chickens were. And to see that effect on pasture is really, really amazing. The trough started over in the corner. You can kind of see, I don't know, I can't zoom out anymore. You can kind of see it makes a triangle. The food trough was right here and the water was right here. And they would really spend a lot of time in this area. But because I didn't, I moved my tractors every single day, the chicken manure, which is so high in nitrogen, didn't burn out the ground, didn't burn out the grass. In fact, it was the right amount of nitrogen, and it made it go from that to that, which is just, it's great. I mean, that grass is going to come back thicker, fuller, and by the time the chickens are on it again, it'll absorb, I know, another hit of nitrogen really, really well. And it'll be just thicker and fuller and taller and more wonderful. And maybe at some point on this field or another field that I work on, if I bring in other animals that will eat the taller grass down, and then the chickens will be able to run on top of it, the symbiotic relationship between the animals will be really, really fantastic. But you can clearly see the effect that chickens have on pasture, and that's the way you do farming. No smell. There's no smell at all. There's no smell even like close to the chickens. On a really hot day, you might get a little bit if you're over there just because there's fresh manure, but you can't smell it 20 feet away. And that's really, really great as well. And that's something that, if there's a big plot of land in your town and somebody wants to farm, if they have the right farming techniques, and this goes all out to the zoning people who have given so many farmers trouble. It's true, and I've talked to both the farmers and the zoning people. If you do farming right, it doesn't smell and it's not ugly. And those chicken tractors, definitely not an eyesore. They look good. It's really great for the land. And yeah, that's chickens on pasture. I guess you can hear more about my farm at FoodCyclist.com. I always like to throw that in the end of the video. I have FoodCyclist Farm, and that's FoodCyclist.com.